willing to change the way he does business, willing to change the way he communicates, and is he able to fashion a coherent agenda? At the same time, while he's dealing with all this turmoil in the West Wing, he's also alienating the allies he's going to need in Congress, starting with the Senate Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, other key senators like Lindsey Graham, Jeff Flake, Tim Scott of South Carolina, at a time where in order to get anything done inside the Senate, he can't afford to lose more than 2 votes. He's alienating key members of Congress, key senators every single day.
But, George, on that point, you know, every politician's first goal, the first day in office, is to get reelected. Steve Bannon is the person who helped him get elected. He tapped into those Trump voters that many people and a lot of critics of the mainstream media even forgot. Steve Bannon somehow knew who those voters were. He knew what those voters wanted to hear. Is this going to now hurt the president with his own base?
No question. I mean, you're right about the influence that Steve Bannon had, even though the president chafed at the idea that this was Steve Bannon, not President Trump himself, who was making this appeal. But right now, the president has actually the opposite problem. He is down to his core supporters right now. You know, he's at somewhere around 35% approval rating now. His strong approval rating among Republicans has been dropping. He's holding on to that very hardcore populist base that Steve Bannon identified. But in order to be a successful president, he's got to start figuring out how to reach out beyond that base, how to reach out to regular rank-and-file Republicans, how to reach out to independents and Democrats, how to secure majorities in the Congress. Steve Bannon was not helping with that effort at all. He was alienating members of Congress, even as he was securing the base. He was alienating others in the West Wing in pursuit of his ideology, and that was hurting the president.
Chief Anchor George Stephanopoulos. George, thank you. I want to go to Matt Dowd right now, someone else who has advised presidents in the White House and on the campaign trail. Matt, if you had to advise President Trump right now, with his chief strategist now gone, what would you tell him?
Well, he's created a White House that we know from day one has been in chaos. It's sort of how he ran his campaign. He obviously was successful in his campaign, but a White House can't be in chaos. I think this is the worst blow so far of his presidency, coming at the tail end of probably his worst week as president. And as George said, he's in his lowest approval numbers at this point. I don't know what he can do other than try to sort of stand back and re-examine himself and cause himself to have some self-reflection. The problem ultimately for President Trump isn't Steve Bannon, wasn't Anthony Scaramucci, wasn't Mike Flynn. We forgot that Mike Flynn and this FBI director, long before these recent firings, they were fired. And I think he has to have some self-reflection. The question is, does he have the capacity to have self-reflection?
Matt Dowd for us. Matt, thanks so much. So again, we're following breaking news out of the White House. If you're just tuning in, Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, one of the men who helped President Trump win the election, has resigned. According to ABC News, we've learned he resigned 2 weeks ago. This resignation was effective on Monday. We're going to stay on top of this story throughout the afternoon. We'll have a full update on World News Tonight with David Muir. We now return to our scheduled programming.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
100 megs internet and phone, just $89.99 a month with no contract.
Several transmissions have been beamed to this area. We know what was sent. We will soon know who received it.
No one's receiving any transmission unless I go start the show.
I will uncover the truth soon enough. Until then, I will be watching.
I'm counting on it.
Until we meet again.
It's the big finale of The View from the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, and we're going out big. Tom Bergeron reveals his early frontrunners on the new season of Dancing with the Stars. Plus, Train is rolling in to rock The View. And we're serving up a meal fit for a magic kingdom with superstar chefs Art Smith and Morimoto. Hot Topics and Florida Heat are a sizzling combo, so let's get things started with Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, and Paula Ferris. They're serving up the hottest topics under the sun from the Tree of Life at Disney's Animal Kingdom.